Biden's favor, Trump could still win, but Trump will essentially have to not lose any more states.
Yeah, that's if he does, or can rather.
Yeah, he can't lose Michigan and Wisconsin. And this is assuming that he gets Georgia and North Carolina, which I think he will. But
But Pennsylvania
Pennsylvania,
is so, I don't know, it's so deep. Or I mean, well, the gap is so wide rather.
yeah,
And
that's the only thing that's kind of scaring me. Like Arizona and Pennsylvania, those are the two. Well, like, and not calling Georgia and North Carolina. And I'm like, why are you not counting those? But even if they were counted, really, Arizona and Pennsylvania, more Pennsylvania than Arizona. But I feel like those are kind of like the ones that are like, that's like what Politico is kind of saying. It's like it was too early to call Pennsylvania or Arizona. It's like, yeah, well, based on the number of people that they say have voted or have been counted, and yeah, that would be true. But I feel like if the other ones are close, then he's won because it's like 16, 15, 10, 16, and Alaska with three. It's like,
well,
come
they
on.
still haven't called Alaska either though. Even though it's, well, I mean, like I said, because at first I thought we were going by the time zones, and like going by the time zones, this whole eastern coast should have been done with by now. You know, because I'm thinking, like I said, if you add up, let's say Biden takes. Let me start over. Biden's currently at 224, and let's say he takes both Arizona and Nevada, bringing him to 17 or plus 17, bringing him to 241. Maine with another 2 plus 2, 243. And out of the 4 that he is still fighting Trump for, it seems like he's close on. I guess would that be close on Wisconsin? I don't think so. Well, a little bit. Pennsylvania
Fox
still doesn't make any sense. What'd you say?
Fox hasn't declared Florida. Fox News is mainstream news is fucking
Yeah, that's why I didn't want to look at that in the
like,
first place, because I don't know who's counting what. Because I was even asking Chris earlier. I'm like, who calls it? The mainstream media calls it, or does it the commission, whatever's counting in that state, they call it? And it's like, I don't know. Because
yeah.
I
I
remember
don't. I'm not gonna. Huh?
I remember there was a tweet that I think the New York Times or some mainstream outlet they posted and took it down saying we decide when so and so happens, and then they switched it to we just report. And I was like, huh, a bold claim at first, and I'm like, no one makes tweets like that on accident.
Yeah, no, it wasn't like there's two types of mistakes that you can make. There's errors that where
Hey,
you
hey,
meant to
Tiff.
do one thing but you did another, and then there's the errors where you completely meant to do what you did, but it was just wrong.
Yeah,
Like the intent, you actually that was your intent. You
exactly.
know,
Because it's like, yeah, there's mistakes, and then there's you know, well, just update it again. Where are we at now? Nothing. Well, not no.
I think it just refreshes every like every
So
like
often.
about time every so often.
Yeah,
So
because like
I
last
would
time it did it, like I was looking at more at the percentages if they've changed, because those were
yeah.
changing. That's when Georgia went to 93%,
Yeah,
and
like Georgia and North Carolina are pretty high up there.
more than likely Trump has.
And I'm not gonna give it. My parents are still up right now. You know, they probably got work in the morning. Oh, they probably went to sleep. I think they probably
No,
like,
back on the stream. In case anyone watching, I am very suspicious of this map and how they are basically not counting Trump's leads, even though they've counted Biden's, despite the fact, according to this map, like over here in Hawaii, there's no data, but it's already been slated for Biden. And I'm like, okay, it makes sense. Hawaii normally goes blue, but Alaska normally goes red. And it's still projected as, he's leading, but Trump hasn't won it. And just like over here earlier during the stream, Biden was way behind Trump in Virginia, but they already had him as taking Virginia despite being behind. Hey Sarah, listen, I'm suspicious Biden as the imposter. I vote we eject him.
I'm surprised that Arizona hasn't moved at all night.
Well, that's what's making it so. It's a lot of these places.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like it's been at 77% for like 2 hours, and I mean, like it's just starting to become midnight over here, and I'm kind of thinking to myself, like, okay, people will say things, and they'll be like, "Oh, well, that's just a conspiracy theory," but then, like, when the reality fucking suspicious, like shit like this is going on, and you're like, maybe there is a million votes that are like, not only did Arizona get retracted, and they gave it an early victory to Biden, then all of a sudden it gets retracted, and then it's actually, and then I hear Razorfish say, yeah, there's been a million votes that aren't really counted, up to a million, and then it's like, and then like 30 minutes to an hour later, retracted, and then all of a sudden it's just standstill. They're not saying shit. And then you know what it's making me think? It's making me think that they did not count them correctly, and they're recounting them.
Yeah.
It's the only legitimate reason why nothing has changed right now. That's the only way I can think. Or like it's something stupid like just sitting on their ass. But like
it's not counting.
It's just nothing changed. Nothing's changed. But Nevada's changing. Like Nevada's growing in number. Alaska's growing. Like hell, fucking Georgia and North Carolina are fucking growing. But Arizona and Pennsylvania, that's why they're scaring me, because they haven't moved.
My thing is like the East Coast should have been counted already, because those states aren't as populous as close towards the Midwest coast, like Texas. Like, how you call Texas? You talking about it's gonna take a while to count these votes? I'm like, Texas is goddamn huge. How did you finish Texas before Georgia, North Carolina, and Pennsylvania, and Michigan and Wisconsin? Like, if anything, with how the time zones work, they would have the votes in on the East Coast going across the the country, and be finished by the end of it, by now. Because like you said, over there it's midnight where y'all everything's already shut down over there. So polling ends at what? At what, like 7, 8?
I don't know. But what I do know is midnight. And it's just strange that it hasn't moved one way or the other.
And Trump getting censored on Twitter. And it's just it's kind of like what I was thinking before. Like, they're probably doing it because they know he won, but they want to fuel the rage machine. Get the people on the left to think we got it. We did it. We did it. And then they're like, oh yeah, but not really. See how sneaky Trump. Ooh, that sneaky Trump. So sneaky.
Yeah, dude, I saw him. He was trained by ninjas. That guy who played Liu Kang in Mortal Kombat? Well, he knows him personally. He's best friends with him, and he trained him in the secret arts of Chinese ninjutsu. And so he went in and he, knocked out all the Biden voters, and he wrote T on it. Trump. And they're like, so said Trump. And they were like, and then someone just found it because there was like Cheeto dust on it, and they were like, this must have been Trump. And then boom, there we go. And now everyone has to stop all the votes because he's a sneaky ninja, dude.
Yeah.
I know he wears that business suit and he eats a bunch of fucking McDonald's Big Macs, but I'm telling you, he's real sneaky, dude. You can't discount him. Like,
yeah. And like Lynn Wood on Twitter, he said Milwaukee, Democrat mayor, Philadelphia, Democrat mayor, Atlanta, Democrat mayor. You see a pattern here, is it just me?
Like, we won't allow
it. Hold the votes. Hold them all.
We won't allow it.
But man, there's only like 20 more in here. I can finish like tomorrow, and they all look like they were for Trump. Not that that would change anything since we know he won. Nope, if you don't finish counting it, it doesn't count.
Nah, dude, this is what happened. Like, as they were counting the votes, they realized there was a majority for Trump. And then, like, the guy was about to go press the button to update it, and then the governor just came over there with a gun to his temple and said,
press that button, and this will be the last thing you ever do.
Yep.
They're even saying the same thing for Virginia. It's like, yeah, how is Virginia being called for Biden when he was so far behind earlier? And it's like, I don't remember this being that difficult. Like, I wasn't paying too much attention to the maps back in 2016. I kind of wish I did, so I could have a better understanding of then versus now. But hold on, let me turn into Nick Wicader's stream right quick.
About 80% in a normal election, in a normal non-lockdown, non-pinko pox election.
Oh shit!
80%
Yeah.
in Arizona, and there's a lot of reasons for that. There's lots of military bases here. We have a pretty decent machine for early voting, so it's very convenient. And we have a huge retiree population in Sun City. We have like the second biggest retirement community in the country after Florida.
Right.
So tons of blue hairs, right, and golf carts and so forth on the outskirts of Phoenix. So that's the first thing you have to understand. Those are the numbers that you're getting are from the early vote. Now, I'm not saying Arizona couldn't flip for Biden, but what's the story of the night? God, in Virginia, in Pennsylvania, everywhere, in Florida, has been early voting breaks like cartoonishly high for Biden because he pushed for early voting.
Right.
And then the election day results and other more recent votes break really hard for Trump because he pushed really hard for election day votes. So they called Arizona when basically only the Biden half of the vote voted.
So, Razorfish, I got a question for you.
What's up?
So, I'm looking at Maricopa County right now, right, Phoenix. 79% reporting.
About the same it's been for the last 4 hours.
Right. Trump taking 45% of that vote. Where do you put that? Is he ahead? Is he behind?
He's like, count the damn
if
votes.
that's the total that's mostly early vote, then he's at least within striking distance of winning. At least.
Okay.
And I would suggest it may even be higher than that because we're talking about the early vote.
Yeah.
Right? Trump didn't even push. You may have noticed he cut a campaign ad for Arizona specifically like 2 days ago, finally, saying, oh yeah, you should probably early vote. By the way, early voting was practically over by the time he cut that ad. We were already into emergency voting by that time.
Right.
So he pushed really hard the entire campaign for election day voting because he was trying to forestall the fraud. And that's the big sketchy thing is if Maricopa, the biggest county in Arizona, winds up being the last one to report, that tends to be the way the voter fraud happens. Because the most populous county is where all the unaccounted for ballots are, and those are the ones they fill out for Democrats. Right? So that's how they do it in Vegas, that's how they do it in Chicago, you name it, any voter fraud capital. This is generally how
what's
it's
up,
done.
Vicious Clay?
really
Can't
news.
sleep.
There's been about
No, man.
24%
Like,
uncounted.
I
Some
was
of those
thinking about. I was like, man, I'm gonna wrap it up.
those.
But when I was
Trump
looking
has
at this
already
map, man, I was
been
looking.
by,
I was like, man, this is This is very suspicious because I was talking to my friend here across that about. Well, hold on, let me pull up the map again. So I'm looking at this map, and I noticed that the East Coast is still not, been counted, despite like they've been locked this way for several hours, especially Pennsylvania and North Carolina. Like they're at 90-something% now, which means I would assume they're pretty much locked in for Trump, especially Pennsylvania. But for some reason, it's not being called. It's still locked at 64%. Now, if the polling, whatever counting works the way I thought it did, was that the east side would get counted prior to the west side because of time zones. Polling stations close, as time goes on. But for some reason, the east side, like Maine and like some of these places, they would have for sure been done, because over here in Texas is like one of the biggest states to win. They're finished. They called it. And it's not that I don't think they're done. I'm pretty sure they're done counting. They're just holding off on calling it. Because you notice that the way they're holding it, it appears that Biden is ahead. Because, Biden came out and made his statement. And Trump is behind. This map looks almost identical to the 2016 map, short of Arizona. Yeah. Because one of my friend here, he's from Arizona. He's like, pretty much vouching for how this stuff happened. Dragging their feet to be more difficult. Most of these maps are sketchy until at least tomorrow. But that's the thing, it normally doesn't wait until tomorrow. By now, we would have been done with this. Would have had a president and everybody would have been like, yay, boo, whatever. Because this time, last election, we were done at least 10.
I remember, because I watched the inauguration at work the next day.
Yeah.
I remember that. I remember Trump had a speech that night, because I remember celebrating this shit, because I remember it very clearly.
Yeah, me and Chris were like, yeah. Inauguration. He was like, he came down, he was like, serious business, folks, sorry kept you waiting. I was like, that Trump.
Yeah, that was bad. That's on there. Folks, sorry to keep you waiting. I was like, yeah, damn, that's getting line.
I was like, I wonder how long this man knew about it. Larry Elder, he just tweeted, the Biden landslide has been put on hold. It's like, it's very sus, man. Yes, but this isn't a typical election. Notice I've heard that a lot during the
but the
media.
2016 election wasn't a typical election either.
Yeah, it's typical now. It wasn't typical for the last however old America.
It's more typical now because of the 2016 election.
Yeah, because I'm like,
I will say that the one thing that's different is that it is because the 2016 election took everybody by surprise, Democrats and Republicans. So now both sides are prepared for different things. So maybe it is unique in that way, it's different from the 2016 election in a certain way. I don't think it's in results. I just think it's in tactics that the media and government, not the government, but the local government, certain governments and stuff are using to try and swing things one way or another.
Even with their usual bullshit of every election being the most important ever, things are different now. A lot more tension in the air, plus Antifa. I mean, that's true, but I still don't think that would affect counting. I would lean more towards that if I guess prior to this moment things were drastically different, because not even the virus was enough to throw it off to the point to where we wouldn't know this bad. Because I feel
my thing is that the only real question to ask is what's preventing the votes from being counted right now. That's the question, right? Because it's they should have been counted by now. So what's stopping it? They didn't stop in 2016, and I think while acknowledging that this election is a bit unique, there's more tension, blah blah blah. It's well, how's that tension causing the votes to not be counted? I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that they're not. That tension's not making that happen, but how? It's is it? I think it's more effective to say something like, well, we don't know, honestly, but it's like I don't think it's like necessarily like
Yeah.
Antifa is, or unless we get some video footage like Antifa going out there and attacking like poll
Yeah.
stations, and that's why they can't count them because they're being destroyed or something.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
more, I think, of like inside, like the
Meddling.
people who are responsible. Yeah, meddling, exactly. I think
Yeah.
that's what it is, more so.
And that's what
Uh,
like Sarah, like she's like honestly I've never seen them push for voting for a specific party before via social
yes.
media and traditional media
Yes.
this
I
time
mean, not
around.
even just social media, traditional media, literally every single fucking thing that you can access. It's like I'm on Discord. Have you voted
Have you
yet?
voted yet?
Voting's really
Are you
important. You go
voting,
get a
son?
fucking hamburger. They're like, we're real patriots. You should vote so you can buy this hamburger. It's like you're all Democrats. Shut up.
Yeah.
Go
Stop.
away.
Yeah.
Like, you guys didn't give a fuck about me voting last year.
Yeah. No one said anything. They were like, yeah, whatever. And now every time I turn on anything, have you voted? Are you voting, son?
Have you, yeah, are you voting, son? You know, and the funny thing is that it's like, why would you assume that I'm gonna vote for you, even though I know you haven't made your political, side
Statement.
clear.
Yeah.
But I know because I'm not an idiot. I've been around the block a few times, and I just know where you guys are coming from. You think that the reason why you didn't win is because enough young people and shit like that didn't vote, and they clearly would have voted for your side. It's not that like you had an unlikable, devil worshiping cunt
Villain.
as a as a fucking candidate, and now you got a fucking riding with Biden. He can't remember his age, his nothing about him, but he does remember to sniff kids. That's the one thing he does remember.
He knows how
Never
to sniff
misses a
kids.
chance.
He remembers how to pronounce words we've never heard before.
Yeah,
Because hold on, let me catch up on my chat. This is the first time so many companies endorsed the candidate. The threat of Antifa is almost more dangerous, at least in terms of public consciousness. Yeah, I mentioned it earlier, celebrities and stuff. Biden, Biden, no Biden, except the dark kids. If you don't vote for me, you ain't black. Billie Eilish being.
No, my blackness.
Oh man.
Like, damn.
You don't vote for me, you're not black.
I like how Democrats are able to get away with saying stuff like that.
And no one says anything.
No
Hold
one
on.
says anything.
AP
Maybe
too
I should
early
be
to declare
Democrat.
winner. PBS NewsHour. Who's about to come out and talk? Hold on, let me watch what they're watching. Is that PBS? PBS. Yeah.
Too early to declare winner in presidential election. Well, it's funny that they say that because that implies that there's a way to view it where someone has won.
Yeah. It's like, how do you know? How are you guys so confident that it's too early or you don't know or something? It's like they've been doing this the whole election. It's like just to let you know.
I bet what it is that they count all the votes. Trump won, and they're like,
fuck.
We need to buy some time. It's like a Disney Channel movie.
Stall.
Stall, and they go out there. It's too early to count the elections. He has like those comically huge sweat beats.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry guys, we're trying. I'm just curious because at first I was gonna be like, yeah, you know what, I'm just gonna, call it a night, clip a few clips from the stream and call it a night. But nah, I need to know. I need to know what's going on. I must know. There's supposedly new studies about the brain not being fully developed until 25. I like Billie Eilish. Cannot believe. Oh yeah, does anyone really know? Pushing for like lower, voting age limit or whatever the hell. remember
I don't want my brain to be fully developed. I wish it wasn't fully developed until I was dead.
Now that I know better.
No, because like imagine like okay, your brain's fully developed, right? And you're like, okay, you can't. It's not plastic. You can't mold it into whatever the fuck you want. You know, it's just like okay, you're set in your fucking ways. That's just a nice way of saying you're set in your fucking ways. Nah, I want to be fucking. I want my brain to be limber. I want that shit to be gymnastic, fucking until I'm 85. You know, learning
be like
fucking dope ass
Thomas
languages.
Sowell Sharp.
Yeah, sharp. Fucking swift. Like, I want to be cold. I don't want to have some stiff ass, old, fucking crusty ass 25-year-old brain. I want a fucking tight ass, fucking flexible.
Plexiglass.
Yeah, I want to be tight. Fucked in the film.
Man, that's the stupidest thing I've heard. And it's always when Democrats are getting ran over, where it's like, well, I mean, the electoral colleges and all that good. Maybe the voting age is up too high. Perhaps we should consider, like, what was all this when Obama got in? Because, like, I don't remember any of that happening.
Yeah.
Like, Obama got in twice, and they were just like...
It was like, change. And then, you know, like everyone was happy, but then everyone was sad.
I'm not sure, Robert.
Second day.
Probably they're sitting there just like I'm sitting here.
You know what I got told the day Obama got elected?
What?
My parents told me that white people weren't going to be happy about it, and that I should be like, I'm going to have to like watch out for white people that are going to be angry at me that Obama won. And for a month, I was like afraid of the race war. I was like, the race war is coming. But then the more and more I hung out with my friends that were white, they didn't even know really who Obama was. They were more concerned about what new anime they were watching, and then I stopped caring. I was like, yeah, I don't give a fuck about what video games I'm playing. We went back being kids, but that shit of like instilling fear in your fucking kids, you gotta be a piece of shit to do that.
Yeah, that's pretty low. All those people on the screen are going to stay there until I did read that. Yeah, man, I'm just gonna stick it out because I need to know. You know, this is my country we're talking about. It'd be kind of silly for some Brit in Europe cares more about what's going on. He's still up streaming, but I'm like, better call it a night.
Man, fuck those Canucks and British assholes. I hate when they talk with their dumbass stuffy voices about our fucking system and they don't even live in it. Go eat a crumpet and not be able to cut your bread because you can't have knives, you fucking stupid British asshole. I hate them. I'm racist against the Canucks and Leafs. I hate them. But they're annoying. They always are like, well, if you look at the numbers and the people in Michigan, I'm like, you never even been, you didn't even probably know Michigan existed until you looked at its fucking map. Like, don't talk about America like you've been here, like you know the people. I've traveled across the land.
I've traveled across the land, searching for a white.
I'm not here talking about this shit. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. I barely know what the hell I'm talking about. I live here.
I don't know. So it was like parents sometimes just project their own fear onto their children. I can relate. Yeah. It sounds about right.
Yeah, they do that because it's like, oh, the pain and sorrow. It's like, bro, this is a different time period, man. Like, I know there will be new pains and sorrows.
You make it seem like stuff was just like the way it was 30 years ago. I don't trip out for claim.
You know, like it's gonna be some real, like be tough for you, son.
You might not make it. You should watch your back, and whenever you see him, just make sure you pray. Like, what? Why?
It's like the shit they teach you ain't about being strong. It's about like in this world
Being
doing
vulnerable.
shit, and you just gotta like find a way to survive. You gotta survive. And it's like, look, I'm not trying to be a fucking survivor. I'm trying to be a guy that sits next to the guy putting a foot up your ass. That's what I want to be. I want to be sitting next to him and we're shaking hands, kicking the shit out of you. That's what I want. I don't want to be. I don't have to be putting my foot up your ass though. I'll just be laughing as he do it to you. But I don't want to be you. That's like for damn sure.
It's like that JoJo meme where dude's sitting there taking a sip. He's like, I guess I get in here and beat this man up too.
Yeah. It's like, come on, dude. That victim shit is whack. That's the wackest shit in the world. And people buy into it because all their buddies and friends and community do it, and you don't want to be the one person that's like, nah, man, I'm gonna make something of myself, and I don't think I'm gonna do it.
Wrong answer.
Wrong.
All right, hold on. Let me pull up this. Hold on. I think is somebody coming out? Why is it?
Man, nah, they sitting there.
Oh, the camera started zooming, and I was, you normally do that when someone about to enter stage right. Map is still sitting there. What is it? Biden looked like he went up a point, I think. He's at 225.
You see that black dude wearing that kind of like the big ass
the
like
Snoop Dogg jacket?
Jacket?
Yeah, he is coming out. Hold on. Why does
Oh,
it sound so low? Right, maybe that's on my end. Maybe we need to fix that. Speaks as vote count continues. Got us up all night waiting for nothing.
AP.
I won. I lost.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United
Yeah.
States, Donald.
I thought that was you for a second, Tim, and I was like, what the hell? Ladies and gentlemen.
I was like, he sounded like a fucking skit.
I know, that's why I thought it was you for a second. Alright, let's see what the Don got to say. Oh boy. Alright guys.
Here we go.
Well, thank you very much.
Serious business, folks.
Thank you.
Alright, what do we got?
Thank you very much, please, sir. Thank you. This is without question the latest news conference I've ever had.
Hey, can you give me a link?
Yeah, I got you.
Thank you.
I got you, bruh.
I appreciate it very much, and I want to thank the American people for their tremendous support. Millions and millions of people voted for us tonight, and a very sad group of people is trying to disenfranchise
There you go.
a group of people.
There we
And
go.
won't stand for it. We will not stand for it.
Oh boy. It's about to get spicy.
I want to thank the First Lady, my entire family, and Vice President Pence, Mrs. Pence, for being with us all through this. And we were getting ready for big celebrations. We were winning everything, and all of a sudden it was just called off. The results tonight have been phenomenal, and we are getting ready. I mean, literally, we were just all set to get outside and just celebrate something that was so beautiful, so good. Such a vote, such a success. The citizens of this country have come out in record numbers. This is a record. There's never been anything like it. To support our incredible movement. We won states that we weren't expected to win. Florida, we didn't win it. We won it by a lot. And
Still not calling in.
the great state
They were
of
like,
Ohio.
Florida.
We won Texas. We won
Tex, what's that? Florida? Never heard of it. What's a Florida?
Texas by 700,000.
Maybe 94%
In the tabulation.
reporting in, but
It's also
that's not really
the
decisive.
we have
I know, right?
Georgia. We're up by 2.5% to
Smooth criminal.
117,000 votes with only 7% left. They're never going to catch us. They can't catch us. Likewise, we've clearly won North Carolina.
I'm gonna turn yourself down. I'm gonna turn you down just a little bit, Tevin.
Where we're up
Yeah, I got you.
1.4%. We're 77,000 votes with only approximately 5% left. They can't catch us. We also, if you look and you see Arizona, we have a lot of life in that. And somebody declared that it was a victory for some. Maybe it will be. I mean, that's possible. But certainly there were a lot of votes out there that we could get because we're now just coming into what they call Trump territory. I don't know what you call it, but these were friendly Trump voters. And that could be overturned. The gentleman that called it, I watched tonight, he said, well, we think it's fairly unlikely that he could catch. Well, fairly unlikely. And we don't even need it. We don't need that. That was just a state that if we would have gotten it, it would have been nice, Arizona. But there's a possibility, maybe even a good possibility. In fact, since I saw that originally, it's been changed and the numbers have substantially come down just in a small amount of votes. So we want that obviously to stay in play. But most importantly, we're winning Pennsylvania by a tremendous amount of votes.
Can't count for some reason.
We're up 600. Think of this. Think of this. Think of this. We're up 690,000 votes in Pennsylvania. 690,000. These aren't even close. It's not like, oh, it's close. With 64% of the vote in, it's going to be almost impossible to catch. And we're coming into good Pennsylvania areas where they happen to like your president. I mean, it's,
They happen to like me.
so we'll probably expand that. We're winning Michigan by, I'll tell you, I looked at the numbers. I said, whoa. I said, wow, that's a lot. By almost 300,000 votes. And 65% of the vote is in. And we're winning Wisconsin. Now, so we're winning. We don't need all of them. We need, because when you add Texas in, which wasn't added, I spoke with the really wonderful governor of Texas just a little while ago, and Greg Abbott, he said, congratulations. He called me to congratulate me on winning Texas. I mean, we won Texas. I don't think they finished quite the tabulation, but there's no way. And it was almost complete, but he congratulated me. Then he said, by the way, what's going on? I've never seen anything like this. Can I tell you what? Nobody has. So we won by 107,000 votes with 81% of the vote. That's Michigan. So when you take those three states in particular, and you take all of the others, I mean, we have so many, we had such a big night. You just take a look at all of these states that we've won tonight, and then you take a look at the kind of margins that we've won them by. And all of a sudden, it's not like we're up 12 votes and we have 60% left. We won states, and all of a sudden, I said, what happened to the election? It's off. And we have all these announcers saying, what happened? And then they said, oh, because you know what happened? They knew they couldn't win.
It's off.
So they said, let's go to court. And did I predict this, Newt? Did I say this? I've been saying this from the day I heard they were going to send out tens of millions of ballots. I said exactly, because either they were going to win, or if they didn't win, they'll take us to court. So Florida was a tremendous victory, 377,000. Texas, as we said. Ohio, think of this. Ohio, a tremendous state, a big state. I love Ohio. We won by 8.1%, 461. Think of it. Almost 500,000 votes. North Carolina, big victory with North Carolina.
Come on, that raise.
And
Right in the
So we
kisser.
won
Hey,
the
I
what
like
about
how
you?
essentially he's giving everybody the
76,000
logical
votes
argument
with
for why
almost
he's
nothing.
winning, like why he's already won. He's like, I've won already, but they just won't call it. He's
This
like, let
is
me
a
tell you
fraud
why I've won.
on the
Boom, boom,
American
boom,
public.
boom, boom, boom.
This is an embarrassment to our country. We were getting ready to win this election. Frankly, we did win this election. We did win this election.
So,
So our goal now is to ensure the integrity for the good of this nation. This is a very big moment. So our goal This is a major
I'm gonna turn you down again, Tevin. You should kind of
We
loud.
want the law to be used in a proper manner. So we'll be going to the U.S. Supreme Court. We want all voting to stop. We don't want them to find any ballots at 4 o'clock in the morning and add them to the list. Okay? It's a very sad moment. To me, this is a
Ooh,
very
man,
sad
it's just
moment.
gonna get
And
tight.
we will win this, and as far as I'm concerned, we already have won it. So I just want to thank you, and I want to thank all of our support. I want to thank all of the people that worked with us, and Mr. Vice President.
Well, I want to find any ballots. The ballots should have never been lost in the first place.
Ooh,
All right, here
oh,
comes-
move, Mr. President. Ooh. Hold on, Mr. President. You got me.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Oh
I would
man,
like to
I haven't seen that much
thank more than 60
testosterone
million
that came from a
Americans
fucking leader in a
who
minute.
already cast their vote for 4 more
I
years.
mean,
for
like,
President
look, I know I
Donald Trump in the
won,
White
so
House.
we're about to fucking do this. So, oh shit.
And while the votes
Hey, wait
continue
for
to
the
be
vote.
counted, we're going to remain vigilant.
2 scoops,
As the President said,
2 terms.
the right to vote has been at the center of our democracy since the founding of this nation, and we're going to protect the integrity of the vote.
Oh boy.
But I really believe with all of my heart, with the extraordinary margins, Mr. President, that you've inspired in the states that you just described, and the way that you launched this movement across the country
Wow.
to make America great again, I truly do believe, as you do, that we are on the road to victory, and we will make America great again.
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 All right, so right in the kisser was like, we don't want them to find any ballots. You know, I would buy that if this was something that was common, but because it's not, I don't buy that. Because
What? You don't buy what?
well, the fact that there are any ballots that need to be found in the first place, I don't think there are any ballots.
No, when they say found, he doesn't mean actually found. He means found.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like hard quotations found.
Yeah.
Yeah, they haven't been found. Like, there's nothing to find. They're already there. They're just not counting them, especially when they're ballots on the
No, I think
East
he
Coast.
means cheating.
I
They're
know.
going to add more. What do you mean more to find? They're going to just add more. That's what he's saying. He's like, I'm not trying to have you guys be like, oh, we found out that he won. So let's add. We found some more over here. Oh, looks like Biden won.
Check the seat cushions in the couch. Might be a few more in there.
Yeah. He's like, no, I'm not about to let that fucking happen. He's like, no, man. I won. Look at it. It's fucking obvious. It's like, yeah,
It's
it really
over.
is.
It's done.
Like, but look at what they've done. So Donald Trump has declared this shit, right?
Yeah.
But look at it. Look at like if you look at look at the electoral numbers right now, right? And who has moved who? It looks like if you're just like an idiot, you're gonna see this as, oh, I see what's going on. Biden is about to win. He's at 225. Donald Trump only has 213.
He can't
Trump
catch
had to
up.
come in and try to interrupt Biden from winning. That's gonna probably be the story.
Yeah, like when the media starts, it's like, since Trump was so far behind, he's gonna come in here acting like, oh, we would have won, but there's no way to know which those states would have had. How would you know if we won if you didn't win them? Trump? Biden is only 13 seconds away from victory because he's ahead of you by 300 points. He's basically already there. Mild prediction, Trump gets 298. This year was so weird with mail-in votes and stuff. Either candidate could have easily disputed and get a recount. Exactly. yeah.
So whack.
Ugly fuck.
So whack. Like, why can't y'all just play fair? Why can't y'all play fair?
Because they don't suffer the embarrassment of losing to this evil, misogynistic, orange, bigoted Russian asset.
Their entire lives and sold their soul to the devil to get this power. And Donald Trump, all he did was fucking have charisma.
Yeah.
Like, motherfucker, I would have sold my soul to the devil for that.
So you mean all I had to do was be a good candidate?
What the fuck?
God!
Devil, I want my soul back. Nah, man, deal's a deal.
Yep. Deal's a deal, so now you're gonna have to finish out what you started.
Yeah, hey, man, I delivered you for the kids. Look.
I did my part, and you just messed up.
I did my part, man. You better like your remaining 5 to 10 years on this earth. I'll be roasting y'all. Chicken.
And then it's like, I remember the Pennsylvania, I think the governor, he said, like, he's not going to win. He just isn't. I was like, that's not ominous at all. So
Tell who? Which one? The Pennsylvania?
Yeah. Because, like, before the election even started, he was like, no, he's not going to win. Not until we count all the votes.
If you're going to be corrupt, why say it on social media out loud? Why? I don't understand it. Why not just be like, don't say anything? You know, if there's something that you have, like, let's go back to, like, older politicians that's made, like, blunders, mistakes, and we call them, like, fuck, that was, like, no. Like Richard Nixon.
Yeah.
You know? Like, at least Richard, well, I guess social media didn't fucking exist back then.
Yeah.
Maybe Richard Nixon would have been an idiot to put it on social media. But it's like, it seems like politicians back then put more effort into hiding
They're
corrupt things.
Yeah.
Now they're just like, dude.
According to Matt Christensen, said NBC is currently interrupting the president's speech to correct it.
Actually, this is not true.
Seeing lots of reports of polling stations in heavily Republican conservative Pennsylvania areas are mysteriously not working, and then there's this shit like this where they, they had the ticket for who to vote for on the outside of the establishment, which is illegal, by the way. So, whew. And then, of course, you got the people coming out complaining about the Electoral College.
This is why the Electoral College is unreliable.
It's totally normal that the New York Times disabled its election needles after this happened. What a strange... This never happens. This is such a completely reasonable and normal thing.
The only difference is that we may have hanging chads or smudged postmarks or crazy crap like that.
Is
Places like
Rakita doing like a call-in stream or something?
wherever.
I have no fucking clue. I don't know who that guy is.
I'm gonna call in like, hey, what's up, man? Hold on. Media outlets are retracting. Oh, well, that's 5 hours ago. Never mind. Tweets disappearing, all that good stuff. Totally normal. Nothing out of the ordinary here. I think this year's election will be a repudiation of the summer of love provided to you by Antifa BLM defunders. Yeah, it's gonna get pretty ugly, man. Rakita.
Yeah, I didn't expect it would end up like this. I thought what would end up happening is that the worst I assumed that was gonna happen was oh, like they just counted all the shit really slow, and then we weren't gonna get anything until the morning.
Yeah.
Like that kind of is what happened, but that's not really what happened. Like a bunch of states counted normally, and then only a very few
Specific
count.
states.
Yeah, very specific states that are known for corruption. Arizona and Pennsylvania. They both have histories of it. And it's like, how strange. And then there's other states where it's like, simply just not counting them because Trump would have won already. You know, like,
And not,
because
not
honestly,
counting.
it's just like Trump said, I don't need Pennsylvania and I don't need Arizona. It's like you could have just called these things that are like at 94%, and I'm leading by this much, 93%. There's 3 states: Wisconsin, fucking North Carolina, and Georgia, all in the upper 90s, and he's leading by like a lot. And it's like,
Nope.
no, don't count him. And then I'm glad that he brought that up. He's like, but other states, they like Biden has a lead of like 50, and then you just call it?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, it's improbable.
Virginia.
It's like, you.
Virginia,
Thank
because like
you.
that shit, I thought that shit was so odd when I was looking at it. I was like, man, what? Am I reading this wrong? Because I see Trump down there, now there's an asterisk next to his name. What the hell does that mean? I think that's all. Okay, that's all.
Pennsylvania
That was
just called
already
off the
there.
election for the night.
Yeah. They all are.
Because they know, like, did you watch Trump's speech?
Yeah. Because he's winning. Because he said he doesn't even need Pennsylvania.
No, it's not that
fucking
he's
knew that
winning.
shit, man.
He won.
Or yeah, he's done.
He completely won, and they're like, you know what? Screw
won.
this. We're done for the night.
Who's winning right now, and when will it be final? Right now, YDK. Right now, the election is stalled off. Like Pennsylvania, they're not counting anymore. They're not counting anymore. But looking at the map, Trump already won. They're just not going to count it because they don't want him to win. And
That's what we suspected when we ended the stream, because it was Trump's winning. He was completely dominating, and they're like, and dude, I'm watching Crowder right now, and they said that in Pennsylvania you can drop off your ballot 3 days after today, so you have until Friday, and the shit doesn't even have to be postmarked.
wow.
So
It's fucking ridiculous. But that's what I'm talking about.
it's blatant election tampering, is what it is.
Yeah. Then you said
exactly.
which 2 states were notorious for it? Arizona and Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania and
Yeah,
Arizona,
Pennsylvania.
literally one of the states where Trump is kicking ass.
ABC fake ass news telling me some fake shit.
Dude, that's so
But
much.
the thing is that
Yeah.
it's just like Trump said. He doesn't actually even need these 2 fucking states. He already has Georgia. He already has North Carolina. He already has Wisconsin. And the chances of him getting fucking Michigan are really high. So it's like, he won already, dude. He won.
All you have to
And
do
you're
is just
like,
finish counting, and that's it.
Yeah, Crowder just said, "Have you lazy fucks? Have you lazy guys ever heard of a night shift?"
Yeah. Yeah,
It's like
dude.
they just stopped the election because Trump's doing too good.
Yeah.
It's over.
Like, that's what I'm talking about.
They
Like
canceled the
this
election
whole
tonight.
thing was
Oh, I know.
rigged at
It's 'cause
like
they're-
not rigged in the sense of like it was rigged
Dude,
for it to
Complete
go
crap.
in a certain way. It's pretty whack. Like, oh, we're gonna count these things and we're gonna make it look like Biden was in the lead. If you're not looking at any of the like complex numbers or anything, you're just seeing the electoral college numbers at the top.
And that
We're
Biden's
just gonna
ahead.
make it look like Biden's in the lead and Trump
Yeah.
isn't winning. Then all of a sudden, when Trump starts catching up, but we're still gonna have him below Biden
Because we're
and
going to
then,
stall out
We're just
key
gonna
states.
stop. We're just gonna stop, and then everyone's gonna wonder what the fuck is going on. And then, Trump comes out and he's like, "You're cheating," and then everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, like the Democrats,
see, we told
what,
you.
you're cheating."
We told you.
See, I knew what he was going to say. We're cheating. We're winning.
Hold on.
It's like,
Do you think? How long do you think it's going to be stalled for? We don't know. Because he's talking about doing something at the, taking it to
the
court.
Supreme Court.
Supreme
Yeah,
Court.
if he takes it to the Supreme Court, then we don't know. Like, that is literally the worst thing that could have happened. Like, is what Trump is like proposing right now. That's the worst thing that could actually happen, because essentially he's gonna have to take this to court. Supreme Court. Now, look, like Trump is still gonna end up winning just because he prepared for it.
Yeah.
By putting, like he predicted all this was gonna happen. That's why he was like, okay, well, I'm gonna put a Supreme Court justice.
Yeah.
Make sure it's not
Amy.
even. Make sure that it's odd numbers.
That's why I'm talking about
and
packing
that
the
it's in
court
my favor.
and all that stuff. Because they knew.
It's like so it's going to like things are still going to end up going in his way, but the way it's going to happen is that
it's going to rile a lot of people up.
They're going to end up saying is like, oh well, he used his executive powers to force himself into power, essentially.
Yeah.
So they're going to end up doing, but he did that because there was election fraud, and even though the court's going to find that there was like either election fraud or that he won or anything like that, it's not going to matter because they're going to get to the surface people that only read the headlines of articles.
Yeah.
and then like for a whole another 4 years, it's going to be like possibly worse than the last 4 years when it comes to like tension, because people are going to be like, oh, so you're like the last 4 years they were calling them fascists, but they probably didn't believe it. They're going to believe it more now because they're going to be like, he's actually a fascist. He
did it in the last election. It's proof. I was looking at the election and he was behind, and then he won. Can you believe that? That doesn't make any sense. I knew it.
Yeah, so
it is going to get ugly.
It's going to get real ugly. You know, you're going to see a lot. You're going to see Antifa going fucking nuts, and you're going to
crazy.
One thing I really hope that doesn't happen is like some type of public what I hope is that names of the people who voted stay anonymous, because like I think that we're at a point to where these crazy people might actually end up trying to target people who voted like Republican.
I bet you a shiny nickel my family is gonna say that verbatim. It is all you know who's gonna say what, and god dang it, and anyone walking around with a Trump hat it's just like the last election. Like, oh, you're Trumper, but now it's like you support not only a racist, bigot, heterophobic, homosexual, xenophobic, all the phobes, and then you're gonna tack on, election thief stealer at the end. Just like the media, that's what the media does. They spin everything, and it's really because they just stopped counting. It's like,
yeah, pretty much. He was in the lead, and they stopped counting. He was always in the lead. He never was not in the lead. But it just would not give him anything until it was like, oh, I guess we have 99% of the vote in.
Yeah, and then when it came to it, still Stalin couldn't get Biden ahead, believably. Man. Ugly fugly. Antifa made a hit list of every business and individual that made a donation to the Trump campaign in Pennsylvania. Ooh, that's going to be terrible. I think it's going to be riots and stuff well, of course. It's going to be riots regardless. Even more so now with the way they did this.
Yeah, that's why, riots were inevitable because Trump was going to win. But the thing is that it would have been like, okay, well, these crazy people are rioting because this guy won an election. Then it would have just blew over. But now you have this sticky situation where unless you know the specifics of what happened, people are going to legitimately believe there's a good reason to be on the side of Antifa.
Yeah.
You're going to have to sit there and try to explain like a nerd to them why that's not the case, and they're not going to listen to you at all. Not at all. People who you think are your friends, and you've been able to have conversations with them and talk to them, prepare for them to hate your fucking guts.
If they didn't already. So, it is what it is. Because, it's I'm not giving up my country. Sorry, it's not worth it.
I feel like they're honestly trying to drive a wedge between Americans. Like they're actually trying to start a civil war.
After this, I think it's pretty obvious, especially with how this turned out. Because it's like at first our original prediction was going to be a landslide. Trump's going to win, and it was going to be clear he won. But I don't think anyone predicted that they would just stall out, and then it should have been obvious with how they were doing them on Twitter. Because as soon as he said something, Twitter was like, nope, mm-mm. And leading up to it, because you notice on all these sites and stuff, we may not know. It's like, how can you predict that so confidently? How do you know that we may not know? All it takes is a virus and early voting, and then all of a sudden this is going to be dragged out for weeks. And Trump's not going to sit there and be okay with that. So, Oh well. It's gonna get interesting. Very, very interesting.
It's pretty annoying.
Oh,
I would have rathered.
Just take the L. Just take the L.
Just take the L. It's 4 more years. Fuck.
You give you 4 years to prepare.
He's going to be fucking God Emperor for life. Like, dude, it's 4 years. Like, relax. You can try again.
Yeah, I know. That's the whole point. It's like that we don't get one guy forever. Treating him like he's literally going to be the... Whatever. Still getting emails from Trump to donate to his campaign. Not joking. I mean, that's all that stuff's a bot. If he loses, can he just run again? I mean, you talk about Biden. I mean, not him. He'll be dust by the next election. But Biden's speech said that he was still in it and he was kind of... Well, yeah, because he was supposed to say that. Yeah, he came out. He knew exactly what to say. He knew what was going to happen, and that's why he made it seem like, I'm going to make it seem like I'm confident I'm going to win, and to kind of put it on Trump that to make it seem like Trump is going to assume election fraud, which is what happened. It's all planned. None of this stuff is coincidence.
Is that that Trump said it on Twitter first. That was really important. He did that because I'm sure he knew that when he said that, they were probably going to censor him.
Yeah.
Everyone see that, and so everyone's going to be like, "You're in league with them."
Yep.
People are trying to subvert the public will of the country, and it's like, so he's like, okay, now that I've shown that these people are going to do this, and this is the way it is, now I'm going to explain it to everyone. And then so like all the people that are watching, it's kind of like, oh, we can't have them see the truth. Actually, since you guys can't think for yourself, and we're afraid that your minds might come to a conclusion that we don't want you to, we have to try and reinterpret it for you because you're babies. It's kind of like when we have to chew up food for you and then regurgitate it back into your mouth.
Like the birds.
Shit. You're a baby. You can't chew your own food. So it's like, that's what it is. And this is going to get fucking sticky. And I'm not looking forward to it. I was looking forward to Trump winning and then me laughing a lot. I was not looking forward to this. This is going to be really fucking annoying. And I might have to get to a point to where I'm just going to stop talking to a lot of people. Because they're going to get really annoying. They're not going to be able. They could barely hold it in already. At this point, they're going to get like really preachy and fucking stupid, and I'm just going to have to be like, I don't want to talk to you about this. I talk to people that like having a discussion. I'm not going to talk to a person who you're
already like stuck in the like you've already swallowed the blue pill, so it's like nothing I say is gonna change your mind.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you're essentially you're just saying, are you with me or against me?
Yeah. And if it wasn't bad enough before, oh hell if it ain't gonna be now. But Anko, you said if he could just run again. Oh yeah, if you meant Trump, like if he lost, the problem is he didn't lose because if you add up any of the states he's obviously winning in, he wins. I was told he was going straight up get rid of Social Security and healthcare. Oh well, that sounds like a very likely thing. I'm surprised that's done already. Been here for if that was a priority, I feel like he would have. Whatever.
Eliminate income tax. Fuck that shit. That's what I want. A Social Security, yeah, fuck that too. But income tax. That's what I fucking hate. Fucking hate income tax. You make more money? Well, fuck you. We're gonna take it.
Like, give me that cheddar.
Yeah.
You working hard? You working hard, ain't it? Come on out some pockets, boy.
Yeah, give me that. fucking money. You ought to be a broke ass bitch. So it's like it encourages you to try and find all these loopholes to make it so that the government doesn't fucking rape you. But it essentially boils down to doing favors for the government. It's like, oh, donate to this thing. Essentially, it's give us money. If you give us money, we won't take, like, okay, we're going to take $20,000 from you. But if you just give us $5,000 voluntarily in this specific way, and we'll say it's a donation, or we'll call it this or that.
Yeah, don't worry
so
about
it's
it.
like, okay.
Sticks just uploaded a video. I'm going to get his 2 cents on it.
As you may have seen, there's both very good news and very bad news. The very good news is that Donald Trump has fairly clearly won re-election. The bad news is that because of the mail-in ballot situation, too many states are still outstanding for that to be officiated. Donald Trump is ahead by an insurmountable total in Pennsylvania and Michigan. Those states should be called immediately. Joe Biden is ahead by an insurmountable total, more or less at least, in Arizona and Maine. Those states should be called for Joe Biden. Of the outstanding states, Georgia, North Carolina, and Wisconsin are all narrowly Trump states with 99% of the vote reporting in. It's time to fucking end the election and recognize that Trump, whether you like it or not, has been re-elected as the President of the United States. Will this actually happen? Is the result going to be respected by the establishment, which refuses to acknowledge the basic core reality, which is that Biden ran a lackluster campaign and failed to turn out voters in the proper numbers in the places that counted, while Trump's fans did exactly what I speculated they would do, and the reason why I gave him an 80 to 95% chance of re-election, they poured out in droves, because at the end of the day, while Trump may not have 50% of the population behind him, the 48% that he apparently has behind him is extremely rock solid. Biden, meanwhile, with more fans, barely managed to register a pulse in some of these states. I did not expect, by the way, to wake up today and see Wisconsin and Michigan leaning red. If all of the states that are still outstanding are called for the person who's ahead, and in none of these states is the lead less than at least 1.5 points, it's funny because they're still claiming that Trump has somehow lost Georgia despite being ahead 2.5 with 99% of the fucking vote in. If all of them are called, I'll not only have gotten the election right, and of course, if you look at the Senate, I'd be right. Republicans would be left with a 1-seat majority there, which is what I predicted as the break-even. I would have gotten 47 states correct. Interesting. All of the pollsters and pundits, once again, as expected, were wrong. But remember that independent media junkies, we're a bunch of grifters. We're talentless and don't know what we're doing. Well, suck it. I was completely right, just like in 2016. So yeah, it is victory lap time. And by the way, if these results are not immediately certified when the writing is clearly on the wall about what the will of the people actually is, people need to protest. You have the inalienable right to peacefully protest at City Hall, at your State House. You have the right to demand that your vote be heard. Speak out online and go wave your sign in person. Stand around until these idiot governors and these idiot mayors and the idiots in Congress who right now, trust me, are sweating goddamn bullets, respect your wishes. You have re-elected Donald Trump. It is not the end of the world, liberals. It is not the end of the world, Biden fans. You had a shitty candidate and he fucking lost. You gotta get over it. Deal with the fact that for 4 years, the person in the White House is not the person you cast a ballot for. Very sad. If Trump, by the way, were behind in as many states as Biden were behind, you Democrats would do the goddamn same thing. You'd already be rioting. You would be demanding the election be called. Did I not say that this particular scenario would occur? The election would be close. You probably wouldn't know on election night the results, not because it's not clear who won, but because they're not going to respect the wishes of the electorate. The people of a plurality of states representing more than 270 electors have chosen Donald Trump. Certify the fucking results and let's end this bullshit.
Hey, Robert Paulson.
The Democratic Party needs to get better leadership.
Let's see if I can tag the Discord in here if you can send it that way.
Every
or no, if you can find if you look on my under my description, you can either send it to me on Twitter, Facebook, or another way. You can send it to one of those because I would like to get that and have a look-see at it. That Google Docs of Google Docs. The Docs of Google. Tisk. Yeah, I have my Patreon, Facebook, and Twitter. See if you can send it to me on Twitter or through my Facebook. I would like very much to see that. Oh crap! Okay, yeah. If you're on the phone or on the computer, I have it in the in the description.
By 1 hour into the election, Cenk was already cradling his head like a goddamn big baby because he just can't understand reality. These people just can't understand why. Why would people vote against a man who wants to cause a Great Depression with a 3-month lockdown? Why would you vote against someone who takes positions on every issue and is consistently inconsistent in everything that he says? Why would they reject Biden? Orange man's bad. This is like 2016 all over again. Remember, there were a handful of states that refused to report in then too. It's just that there weren't enough of them for them to delay the inevitable results. Trump
I have to make a video on this. Thanks, man.
The writing is on the wall. There are too many
What's
states
up, Midnight
already
Old
Burn? He's out.
Given the situation, things have gotten a little spicy. Bella Lange. The election has been stalled off indefinitely until whether Trump he's going to take it to court, and he won. He won. If you look at the map, I'll pull up the map. But yeah, no matter what scenario you put together, each one of these states that just magically stopped counting ballots, he's ahead by a significant margin, which would put him past 270 electoral votes and wins. Biden, on the other hand, I guess they just finished counting Arizona. That puts him at 236, and Trump is still sitting at 213. So I guess they finished Arizona, and even if he took Nevada, he would still be short 270. And that's if they also give him Maine, which is only 2 points. For some reason, Pennsylvania, which is 20 electoral votes, has been stuck at 67% pull in of the votes for hours. It's been like that for hours. Biden can easily win in Forbes, the New York Times, Washington Post, MSNBC. Yeah, that's what they're gonna do. Like, we pretty much. Oh, you got more, Robert? Yes, please send that to me, please. But Hillary was up last time, and and Trump still won. Yeah, I mean, they pretty much knew that Trump was gonna win, and crazy night. I'm gonna try to get some rest. Sweet MAGA dreams, guys. Good night. All right, Sarah. Thanks for stopping by, experiencing this nonsense, this crazy roller coaster of a ride. Get some rest. I think I'm just gonna stay up and see what happens, because I was really hoping this wouldn't happen, but here we are. You still there, Tevin? I'm over here running my mouth, or cross rather. Cross. Okay, I guess he's MIA right now.
Oh, okay. My bad. I was listening to something. What's up?
I was talking to the chat about everything that's going on. And so if he takes it to court, how long would that take? I'm not sure. I'd imagine it wouldn't take long. But at the same time, I couldn't say, because I don't know how that process even operates. When you
part of me wants to say, because it's going to the Supreme Court, wouldn't take too long, but I don't know what too long means, because is that a day? Is that a week? Is that 2 weeks? Is that a month? Because your average lawsuit that isn't in the Supreme Court, just your average lawsuit takes years, right? So if you assume okay, well, like criminal courts and stuff like that. That could take a year.
Yeah.
Then you're dealing with stuff with Supreme Court. So maybe it's going to be faster because this, it's going to be really, really important. And they were predicting this was going to happen. So they're ready, right? But still, like, this is something that needs to be done immediately. Like, my opinion,
before the
as soon
year's
as
over.
you can fucking do it.
Yeah.
Like, no waiting. Like, there's like, the longer you wait, the less faith people are going to have in the judgment that happens. Because if you wait, like, in my opinion, I think a week is too long. Wait a week, people are going to start to think that more votes were either added, and people are going to be like,
And then it's going to really change things up because they're going to be like, you just added a bunch of bum votes or you counted wrong on purpose.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so.
Yeah, and it's so annoyingly obvious because it's like, why didn't you call half of these states? Why is Alaska still sitting here like a lost child?
Yeah, but you calling fucking Arizona.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, we called Arizona. It's
80%.
It's like
you called
but
Virginia.
You're not gonna call Georgia and North Carolina and
Pennsylvania
that are at
and
90-something%. Not gonna do that.
Call Virginia when he was behind. They called Virginia when he was behind. But Alaska, it's like, and of course, the average, most normal, the average citizen is just going to look right past that. It's just like you said earlier. I'm going to be sitting here yelling into the ether, and they're like, you're just a Trump supporting, you betrayed your race, yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, well, you already hated me. So, what happens in the meantime, other than rapid violence? I don't know.
That's the worst part.
It's probably going to be rampant violence. Because Robert just sent me a Google Doc of this intentionally misnamed thing called Stopping the Coup, but it's really Antifa's playbook for who they're going to hit, why they're going to hit, and all that good stuff. Let's read some of this. Table of contents. Stopping disruption. The goal of this guide, a few final comments. The lead up, election day, every vote counts, false declaration of victory, assessing and responding risks to armed militias and digital security, striking a balance, quick and dirty principles for physical security, digital risk, internal communication security, quick and dirty principles, organizing security, technologies, useful digital security, power mapping, physical mapping, points of intervention, thinking strategically framework for broad and sustained disruptive action, spheres of influence, identifying allies, audience messaging, framing and effectiveness, action logic and building capacity, action preparation basics, build support structures. Yeah, they got this all mapped out. I have to make a video on that. Hold on. Did you see LeBron and Trump thing that's going on? No, I have not. You guys feel free to send me this stuff on in the links I have in my description. Send it to my Twitter, send it to my Facebook. Just send it to me. I'll take it. But first, I'm gonna take a quick little break. I need to stop by I need to pray to the porcelain god. So yeah, let me do that first. Oh boy. But sounds like a good. All right, let me put some music on. The music I had on earlier, if I can find it. So I might as well keep this junk going. So get to the bottom of this. Here we go. I'll be right back, guys.
I can't really know.
Yeah, I'll be right back. Alright, we're back. Back for the first time. Where is... Oh, there we go. Alright, where were we?
Hey, Josh.
Yes, sir.
You seeing this?
What?
You know how Pennsylvania was at 91% reporting?
Pennsylvania, as far as I'm concerned, was stuck at 64.
It was. I thought it was lower. I thought it was like 90 something.
Well, according to Politico, it's still at 64%.
Oh, there it's 70. Now it's at 74%. I thought it was higher.
Which map are you looking at?
Oh wait, that was Georgia. Never mind. Never mind. I think that was Georgia. Yeah, that was Georgia. Okay, so Georgia went up.
No, are they deciding to finish counting?
No, they're counting a little bit. They're just like trickling it in. That's fucking stupid, dude.
No, of course. Yeah, so Georgia's 94%. That's where we are now. Georgia is at 94 with Trump ahead. North Carolina, Trump's ahead, 94%. Pennsylvania still stuck in limbo with a heavy lead. Michigan, same thing, stuck at 73. 93%, again, stuck. So, where were we? Oh yeah, let's look at these, documents you sent me. Open, I say. Okay, so move this over here. Alright, make sure you guys can see it. So here's what Robert Paulson just sent me. Make sure the chat's called up. If the right is prepared to steal the election, then we must be prepared to disrupt status quo and resist. This guide offers resources for organizing in your communities across the country. This does not encourage or endorse bringing harm to any living thing. Sure, Jan. Stopping the coup, the disruption guide for 2020. Boy, this reeks Das Kapital. See if I can get Cross back in here if he wants to. The complete BS, of course, naturally. But you know, since it's something to add content to the video, we're just gonna go over it and look at what exactly these guys are discussing here. Throughout U.S. history, national politics has moved back and forth between conservative and liberal poles. Nixon, Reagan, Bush followed, blah, blah, blah. However, formation, organized strategically, develop infrastructure, widespread localized disruption, help people already organizing and mobilizing. Building bases to dismantle systems, want to respond to organized, to prevent an attempted coup. Oh boy. Lead up election, every vote counts, false declaration of victory. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. He's a narcissist authoritarian because we said so. That's how you know it's true. Conservative movement is happy to use him to maintain power, which means they will not allow the election to proceed without some severe amount of meddling. You know, it's funny how they throw that around. It's like, you know, if you look at the way it occurred, like why would, anyway, getting caught up. Everyone is eligible to vote by mail and receive a mail-in ballot, blah, blah, blah. There's no redo. Yada, yada, yada. Counting the votes. False declaration. I don't know why they think this is a smart idea. Thinking strategically. We put a lot of work into this. Stupid work, but works nonetheless. Building blocks of a movement, organizing, power mapping, physical mapping. And so I think it's what you meant, Robert. So they came up with maps and everything. What else we got? Preparation for basics. So is this basically just like a more drawn out version of what happened in Seattle? The Seattle Block Party. I forgot what it's called. Chop. Super Chop. We're doing Chop Season 2. Electric Boogaloo. Election Boogaloo. Yeah, more than likely. Calls to action, mobilizing. When institutions break down. Applied to movements of localized resistance. But quality of this document indicates some well-paid minds went into it. Oh, yeah, because, BLM got a lot of money funneling through it. I wouldn't be surprised if they got, very specific people properly trained in Marxist rhetoric. Destroy the system. Mobilization uprising. We live in a moment, however, where larger institutional support may begin to break down, either because tactics of repression on part of those in power, because of blah blah blah, yada yada yada. Well, I guess it's good to know what we're up against, should it come to that. But I don't know. What else we got here? Check my Twitter. See if anything's totally normal that as soon as it was looking good for Trump, they stopped counting votes. Yeah. Oh boy. Not really sure where this is gonna go. People burning the American flag, the usual. Death to America, know that one. Obviously hate the country. Boy. I wonder what the next step should be. Because right now I guess we're going to be trying to figure out what happens next. Let me see who else is maybe discussing this. Just sit in on their talk. See what Crowder's at.
Promo code available until the election is actually called. So I want to take some chats. Then I'm going to go through the map, and I still think we should still finish it out with the rant callback because I do think that this is a win for Donald Trump. And before any of that, look, let me tell you. Win, loser, whatever happens here, and I do think it's a win for Donald Trump. I am really suspicious of election fraud here. Listen, two can play at this game. They said if Donald Trump claimed victory, they were going to stop it. So, okay, if at this point you guys then claim, oh, look, we found a bunch of mail-in ballots, I'm not going to call the election until it goes to the courts. Everyone here agree with that?
Yeah.
Till it goes to the courts, until ACB has her say. So suck it. Let's go to a couple of chats, and then let's have someone out there in the control room. I'm going to fill out this map to what I think is most likely going forward into tomorrow. We'll end it with our final goodbye, and I might have to be back here tomorrow or the day after as they continue calling the election. Let's go to a couple of chats.
Yeah, Vanessa says, what should we do about family who are disowning us for supporting Trump?
Fuck them.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That was a good question.
They weren't disowned. You just love them from afar, and who cares?
X-Lax in the coffee.
Yeah, does that work? Well, I still have to do like a mocha.
Yeah.
You can't just put X-Lax in the coffee.
Yeah.
Like, what is this, chocolate? Like, no, it's a mocha. It's a peppermint mocha. See, don't see it's a peppermint mocha. You like those little chocolate shavings?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was shaved chocolate. This isn't X-Lax in this. Why would I do that to you? I'm a relative. So I don't hate that idea, but you have to be a little more tactful. See, you're a little
Pumpkin
on the nose.
spice latte.
Pumpkin spice. Only it's pumpkin shit latte.
Oh, no. I didn't know they did that. So
I can tell this late at night.
That would be worse.
About, you know, how I remember I told that story, how I just prayed and hoped that I wouldn't crap my pants, and I didn't, and I made it home. Well, when I had the staph infection and they had me on 3 antibiotics and prednisone,
you didn't make it?
God didn't.
Oh,
God answers prayers. Sometimes He just doesn't answer it the way you want.
I guess the plan now, kind of like what one of the questions he asked, like, well, I guess what do we do moving forward? Because this is going to cause a lot of it's going to cause a lot of drama. I don't know what the next chat is. Let's see who else is discussing this.
I think laptop cracking. Here's the thing. Here's what's sad to me.
Crackhead laptop thing. It's no longer the major story, so I imagine that's just gonna get buried or passively forgotten. Let's see. Let's go home. Let's see what Rakata's up to.
Thank you, Matt, for
Good to see
coming.
you, man.
All right. We'll talk soon, buddy. Peace. Thank you.
Matt and I have talked only a number of times. We've never seen each other, so this was like.
Well, there you go. Now I'm bringing worlds together.
You are a unifier, not a divider. That's true.
Yeah, I will
want to
divide.
say the popular vote, FYI, the popular vote is Biden is 67,064 224, and Trump is 65,387 734. That may be actually a smaller margin than.
It's like
last time around.
It's like 2 million votes smaller margin, if I remember.
No
right.
kidding. It's 1.67 million.
Smaller. You're
So
saying.
smaller, yeah. No, that's the difference. The difference is 1.67 million. So what was the difference last time?
I think it was like 4 million votes.
All right, well, let's just I'm really trying to think of what we should do next when it comes to this. Since we've kind of reached this juncture, I'm not really sure what's supposed to happen next. I really don't want to wait it out and see, because I feel like, you know, the writing's on the wall that Trump won according to the maps here. The fact that they stopped counting was just yeah. I mean, I feel like I should go to sleep, but I don't want to. I am nowhere close to being tired. I can't go to sleep this uncomfortable, this annoyed. But damn it. I don't know. They're speculating, but I don't know how beneficial that's going to be. First boarding up the stores and buildings before they announce it. Yeah, that's another thing that was kind of silly. It's almost like they knew. Everyone knew. But they did it anyway. Just go with the flow. Ridiculous. You know, I want to be optimistic. Love your channel, man. Thank you, Bella Lange. This is the first, well, it's technically my second live stream, but I wanted to stream the election just to get a feel for doing live stream content rather than scripting all of my content like I normally do. And this is quite the quite the predicament, the experience found ourselves in. Now, with this going the way it is, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little I can't think of the word because I'm tired, but not really tired. We are in the same boat as you. Yeah. This thing keeps updating for nothing. I don't understand why do this. Well, I know why, but why still? Just take your licks and do better. Is it really that hard to just want to be produce a better candidate? And what's more annoying is how man, it seems like it was all intentional. Well, it is really how they decide to go about it. They're just gonna lock everything up. Media's gonna spin, and if you're a Trump supporter, boy, you're gonna be public enemy number one now, as if you weren't already. But it's like whatever at this point. And of course, the media behind all of it. It's so annoying. There's a way to just kind of wash that up. Oh, okay. I see another link you sent me here. I'll pull it up. All right, well, let's look at some of the great news. Have I gotten threats? I personally haven't. I haven't really been that, I haven't expanded too much to where I've been noticed. So if they stop updating the map, Trump can't win. Pretty standard leftist logic. Yeah, for the most part. I mean, we've been threatened over here. I haven't been threatened directly. I mean, the worst I think I've gotten was the typical banter with strangers online and a few awkward conversations with friends, but I haven't really been hit with the, outside of the whole ordeal we dealt with Black Lives Matter a few months ago. They came to the house. They didn't do anything, get in the yard or anything, but they were in the street harassing the neighbors, not actively, just shouting matches. But that was probably the worst I've ever experienced, and that's why my opinion of Black Lives Matter, I don't have a good opinion about them. Yeah, and it's something that I've come to expect when it comes to this, because I have to ask myself, would it be easier to just hide and lay low and hope that nothing ever happens, or stand up, talk about it, and quit thinking that it's like a problem like this is going to solve itself when we know it won't. It never does. And sometimes you just gotta take a chance with it. As much as it sucks, I'd rather be sitting here playing video games and being not a care in the world. But not this time. Oh no. Especially when it comes to everything that's going on, because I've been tracking it loosely for the past 6 years. That was when I first went over. We have to stick up for each other too. Yeah, we have to, because I don't like the idea of there being a civil war. I honestly don't think it's gonna happen, but with this going the way it is, they're kind of like, oh, well, now you know how much more aggressive the normies are gonna be, the people who buy into a lot of mess. And what really bothers me is that there are people out there getting hurt, getting killed, and it's like there's no really real way to know. And the media, man, I hate how there's no checks for these guys. And the big tech, Twitter over here censoring the president, like, that's not suspect at all. You put me on to Larry Elder's, Uncle Tom, good stuff. No problem, you're welcome. The more you know. Because I learned about that stuff, and I was watching that documentary, I was like, man, I didn't learn about none of this in school. What's stupid. But that's what I realized. When it comes to education, it's more valuable when you do it for yourself. You teach yourself. You can't really be taught by someone else, like a teacher teaching you anything. It's like, yeah, they'll give you their version, but knowledge is really power when you obtain it on your own. That's the big takeaway. But let's look at some of these stories. 1,000 looters turned Philly retail zone into a total loss. And of course, the businesses are going to get hit the hardest, and small business owners. Oh boy.
A second night of unrest in Philadelphia. The National Guard has been requested to come and help
Just
keep
like
the
now,
peace. They
recently.
could arrive as soon as tomorrow. I'm Yuki Washington.
October 28th. Too many people swayed into bad action with few facts. Yep.
They then
All feelings.
to the 18th police district at 55th and Pine,
All feelings.
where they were met by a police barricade. At times, demonstrators clashed with police. Chapter 3 is live now over 52nd and Chestnut Streets in West Philadelphia.
West Philadelphia,
have been met by
born
a
and raised.
massive police presence there, and police are asking residents to please stay inside of their homes.
Looters took advantage of the heavy police presence in West Philadelphia and went to stores along AfrOMAGA Avenue in Port Richmond. Chapter 3 over a very chaotic scene around 8:30.
Oh boy.
A Foot Locker athletic store was ransacked, nearby businesses as well. Police commanders described the area as a total loss from looting. The Target store became a target on Castor Avenue. A very large group broke into the Walmart on Wheatsheaf Lane, loading up cars with televisions and other expensive items.
Going in a looting
Police say
mode.
there was also a shooting in this area. An 18-year-old man and 15-year-old boy suffered non-life-threatening injuries.
Well, there's that. Why would somebody want to be there? Well, there's no telling, man. I have no idea. Okay, this was after the shooting. But man, I really don't want to hear the headlines, what they're going to be tomorrow. I feel like when I go to sleep and wake up, it's just going to be like, yeah. Then I got to go to work too. I wonder how that's going to be, talking with the coworkers. Let's see, let's look under trending. Trending tab is usually garbage, and it is, so get away from that. What is Fox streaming? Are they just showing the map indefinitely? Yep. Oh boy. Let's see. Lucas is whatever.
Negro takes
African American neighborhoods and precincts, and so you'd expect that. So you're now taking an unknown number of.
The more I look at this, the more it makes sense that this would happen.
Through the screen of what you're already seeing out there in the pattern that's.
He's trying to be nice with it. He's trying to be nice with it.
In a small county,
he's just saying, yo, we can take Georgia tomorrow.
These big cities.
Now I guess they're gonna try to like stretch it out to make it seem like it's only gonna be until tomorrow.
Who cares about Maine?
Let me try to find this that stream he's watching.
They might look like by looking at the results that have already come in. So where that leaves me is this.
If there's people still up covering this. Yeah, they're just streaming the nothing screen. Oh no. These are fellow citizens. It's crazy. Yeah. That's what makes it even worse, because it's like, of course, when you see that, it really aggravates you, and you feel like you should do something. Something should be done about it, because you don't want it to happen to where you live. We live a mostly peaceful life, and it'll only be a matter of time before, your city's next, or enough people organize there with these little, like these documents, like the one you sent me. How many of these people are doing that to organize? Because I know there's one place in the city I live in that they're doing that. I don't know how deep they are at this point, but I guess we'll have to find out, wait and see. Problem is, like, a lot of places aren't gonna really stand for that, and I don't like the idea of there being bodies all over the street. Yeah, morally compelled to destroy. And these are people who just refuse to work for a living. They refuse to do well for themselves. And so they just like, well, I'm just going to take it because I think I deserve. It doesn't make any sense. Watch his votes come in. see what that is.
You can watch CBSN 24/7.
I've got an amazing story to share with you.
I understand you have some breaking news.
Let's see if they're still covering it, what their
Quite an adventure here at CBS.
obvious bias take is going to be. Well, probably nothing. Tisk, tisk, tisk. You know, probably at this point it might be best to go ahead and call it for the night. Because, yeah, I don't even know what else to really go over, really. Might be best to sleep and wake up and see what's happening the next 5 hours. Just out of curiosity. But, I don't know, we'll see. We will have to see. I'll check back with Crowders.
So we just find somewhere that's gonna sound worse and
Word
worse.
settled,
the longer
PA
they
cookie
drag it
poll
out.
predicted Trump will
Where'd
win.
you find those 200,000 ballots?
Pretty much.
Foot Locker.
We did some really good videos before
Really?
your natural
I mean,
speaker.
I mean,
Thank you.
kids.
Thank you very much. I've been told that a lot, and I was like, you know, I really need to take advantage of that and really, you know, dig into it, making videos, because the purpose of this channel, I wanted to do more, you know, I guess like informative, not necessarily educational, but informative content, and speak from a more conservative appeal, because, you know, I kind of realized, like, yeah, that's the camp I'm really in, despite what I thought I was before, and I really kind of wanted to solidify it. And once I realized what was kind of going on with the country and talked about it, we should team up. Anyway, I'm all for collaborations. I'm all for it. I am all for it. Do you have a channel? I'll try to find your channel. Because, yeah, like, I'm all for it. Because, like, the whole thing when it comes to building yourself up on YouTube or just online in general, you gotta talk about stuff. Always have to discuss things. Bella Lange. Okay, well, I'm pretty sure you don't want me to watch that video. That's 13 years old. I don't know if that's what you want to discuss, but I do want to. I am all for like doing some discussion videos and just getting more involved with the community and hearing different perspectives and points, because this is stuff we all need to know. I keep hearing people are saying they're turned off with politics. They don't want to have anything to do with it, but you kind of have to, because politics is literally the way we govern ourselves, and it's not a wise policy to just stay out of it, thinking that, you know, you're somehow be okay. There's a way to forward it out. It would be through conversations and explanations that make sense. Yeah, that's definitely what I want to go for. I want to try to change minds, or at least get people to ask questions and understand things. Probably need to clean up some of these. But these were test streams, but this is a legit one. But, man. What a messed up scenario we found ourselves in. I'll be able to scale miles, so I'm trying to start that. Okay, that's good. Like, start something, you know, we're good at it and keep it going. I'm sorry from a little blah, blah, blah. I am getting tired now. Oh, boy. Why? Why didn't you just take the L? You would have been fine. But most definitely, guys, I'm going to be trying to stream more often, just talking about stuff and discussing it. Yeah, it's pretty late. I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. It's almost 3 o'clock in the morning over here. Yeah, if I'm staying up any later, because like I feel like I've hit the the brick wall. Oh yeah, I appreciate you guys hanging out, though. Thanks for stopping by the stream. Really good. Really motivates me to keep this going, because for the longest time I was just kind of sitting on it, but I'm like, you know what, just do it. Just get my stuff out there and just do it. But appreciate it. Thank you guys for stopping by, for watching, and supporting the stream. Really appreciate it. Love it. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and call it quits, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. You know, depending on how my schedule is, I'll probably kick up another one or go ahead and start writing up a script for another video discussing what's occurred here, so it's, you know, so I can put it in a more coherent video. So yeah, I think I'll do that. I have my agenda somewhere. Here we are. Planner. Keep myself organized. So we are in November. Yeah, it's time for bed. I'm gonna go ahead and write this down before I head on out. And write it in ink, make it official. Today is the 4th of November. So post-election controversy. Yeah, that'll be the next video. Expedite that. Maybe I can get that done by tonight. Not tonight, but by tomorrow or the day after. Excellent. Change your age. Shows you I need it. Hey man, you know, it's possible now. You can identify whatever age as you want. Nowadays, it's crazy. But like I said, guys, thanks for stopping by. Look forward to that next video. And it's oh yeah, one more thing. I have a second video because I like gaming. That was my first video I started with. I wanted to do both, but I'm gonna have to figure out how to schedule that better. But my first channel is oh yeah, no matter what happens, keep that smile and laugh. Oh yeah, you gotta be positive. I mean, I know I seem a little beat up now, but I think that's more because I'm tired than I am like you know, feeling defeated. But I'll go ahead and put my gaming channel in the chat. If you guys like to, you know, if you're interested in, you know, gaming at all. Where is it? There it is. Immortal Afro Alpha. Yeah, I'll put that in the chat. You guys can check that out to your leisure if you're into gaming at all. Because, you know, I like my gaming. Just to give you a sample if you want to see. You know, feel free to say no. This is probably the last video I played before I turn in. Because, you know, I gotta shield my brand out a little bit. You know, check me out on the gaming and then this and that and the third. Max out. This is an older video, but do occasional streams when my internet allows for it. Yeah, I'm out the way. Yeah, but yeah, still stuck on CS:GO. I have that. I haven't really played it. I played a mod for it, but that was a while back. A better GPU. Oh, you play on PC? Oh, you need a better GPU. I do too. Ignore that. But I'm running a. I have a a 970. I have a dinosaur card and a Core i7 4790K.
Get so lucky. Get out the fuck out of here.
It turns down just a smidge. Yeah, I built my computer back in 2014, so it's a pretty old system, but it's still pretty much handling everything just fine. So I don't really need to upgrade necessarily. But yeah, got a 970 Yeah, the same card. It's a good card. It's a good card. Like, it hasn't really let me down yet. There's no game I can't really just adjust to get it to run at a stable 60 frames per second. So, I mean, I don't really need it. I do want to upgrade the card, though. I'm thinking about the 2070 because, you know, like I said, it's not really a high. I don't really care too much to go all out crazy card. Oh yeah, yours is Zotac. I have the what brand is this? Let me look at it. MSI. That's my EVGA. Yeah, that's kind of got. Yeah, EVGA card, and I have the MSI motherboard, and an Antec case. It's a beautiful case. I love it. Oh, well, I can just show you. Oh, I'm gonna grab my camera. Oh. Ooh. I forgot this thing is removable. Show you my setup on my dirty desk. But yeah, this is my baby. Part of the pins here broke, so I got some tape holding up the fan because I was too lazy to fix it the regular way. I don't know how that's doing that. It's probably with the green screen. Yeah, but that's my baby. And the dual monitor setup. And the other green screen on the wall over there. Can't see it behind the light. And this one over here. Kind of hard to see because it's playing. But all over this wall. But yeah, put this back over here. Nice PC gamer setup. I primarily play on, and that's the kind of content I mostly cover on my other channel. Ugh. Thank you. But how can you be on the screen and in the screen at the same time? That's a secret for only me to know and you to find out. But like I said, it's my gaming channel. If you guys want to just kind of, because the main idea was to escape the political crazy stuff going on, and you know, just kind of, you know, get fully into my escapism, just play some games and just be happy. But it's so hard to do, especially with everything going on with election. That's why I decided to make a channel for, you know, about politics, because I was like, yeah, I can't keep pretending like nothing's wrong. But oh yes. But lots of stuff for a creative outlet. Yeah, that's why I got to do it, because I've been developing this stuff over all these years, and I have a bad habit of getting you know, lacking consistency. Like, I'll get a good roll going. I'll make like 4 videos. They'll be good videos, and then I stop because, you know, in the back of my mind I was like, yeah, you know, you're all right, but you're not as good as you could be. You know, self-doubt and mess. You're saying the things we're all thinking, that's for sure. Yeah. And so it's like, yeah, I gotta stop doing that, man. Like, I have the resources to do it. There's really no reason why I shouldn't be doing it. I think I'm gonna tap out. Eyes are starting to burn. I'm right behind you, Anko. But yeah, that'll do it for today's stream, guys. I'll see you guys again maybe the day after tomorrow, because I got to figure out when I go to work tomorrow. I hope I go in late, because I have no idea. And we really need to cover what's going on with this election, and yeah, we'll keep our eyes on it. But as always, guys, thank you for joining the stream. Thank you for watching. And this is Immortal AfrOMAGA, and I'll see you on the next upload. Peace. Thanks for watching. Mm-hmm.